Sword. Title Update 1. Sneak Attack. Status Trigger. Know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, fellow hunters, fellow great sworders. Today, well, I bring you something so exciting. Title Update 1 has turned a build that was kind of, okay, viable, fun, neat, into something that is genuinely effective, genuinely powerful, and actually kind of ridiculous.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
A combination of both status trigger, which allows us to put monsters to sleep more than they're awake, on top of the bonus that Surge/Vortex/ gives to status application. It's kinda silly. Seriously, I got 2 sleeps in the space of about 40 seconds at the start of this hunt, and sneak attack from Lucent Nargacuga. I did warn you that a sneak attack from Lucent Nargacuga was about to happen. I don't know what you expected there. Sneak attack from Lucent Nargacuga, meaning that when we wake up, hit the sleeping monster, but, hit its tail, or at least a back 180-degree body part, we're getting a 20% damage increase. So you see where this is going. Put the monster to sleep constantly every 30 seconds, and then hit it with an almighty Strongarm counter wake-up hit, triggering offensive guard, triggering sneak attack, and generally making sure that monsters will never wake up. This is absolutely brilliant. This seething took 10 minutes, 6 wake-up hits, and while that's not the fastest time in the world, it's also not the slowest to say I'm using Sunbreak Great Sword and spamming sleep to sleep wake-up hit. So the general process really is quite simple. Dodge attacks to trigger status trigger, constantly spam Vortex/, the monster falls asleep, switch to your blue scroll, as in red scroll you'll have your Surge/, in blue scroll you will have Strongarm and True Charge for the wake up hit, make sure you've sharpened up to purple, and that, by the way, is much better and easier as part of the build now, as Lucent Nargacuga, waist and legs, which we want for full sneak attack, give 4 handicraft, which is just, Then put on Power Sheath, put down the bomb, wait just a beat before triggering the Strongarm, don't immediately go for it so you counter it at the last possible frame, so you trigger offensive guard, and then hit the monster for a plus 40% damage crit, for a plus 35% Strongarm, for a plus 20% sneak attack, for a plus 15% offensive guard, for a true charge ridiculous motion value, coming together for a double wake up hit that is apocalyptic. Or numerically speaking, that is an EFR of 838 on our wake up hits, and that's ignoring any adrenaline rush or agitator or chain crit that is still active when the hit actually comes down. And of course, Qurios crafting just makes this even better. It's really quite awesome, and that is brilliant. So how is this all done then specifically? Well, of course, the weapon is Sunbreak as the best sleep greatsword out of, the 2 options. We give it full attack, though attack and affinity work as well. Basically, do you want a little bit more consistency on your wake-up hits, or do you want them to be larger? The choice is very minor. The armor, then, is where it's very much looking good. Gold Rathian helmet. We have Lucent Nargacuga chest, waist, and legs for that full sneak attack, and then Baroth arms for a couple of attack and that offensive guard, which is great value arms, especially if Qurios crafting is kind to you. When decorated up, we end up with full critical eye using my level 3 critical eye 2-slot talisman, but you basically want as much critical eye or offensive guard or crit boost or weakness exploit from your talisman as possible, so you can reach this kind of minimum of crit eye 7, handicraft 4 from the 2 pieces of Lucent, which again is great as it pushes Somna to purple for the bigger wake up hits, full crit boost, full weakness exploit, so the wake up hit is going to be a crit at least 90% of the time, and then we just kind of slot in a little bit of bonus in the 1 slots. I've gone for Defiance, Speed Sharpening, and a bit of Stun Resist, but this very much is dealer's choice. Qurios crafting on top of this then, well, you want to get offensive guard to level 3, you want to get attack to level 4, and then after that it is likely evade window, so you can trigger status trigger more easily. Everything past there, if somehow you're lucky enough to need a pass there, is very much your preference. So, that is kind of where it's at then. There's nothing too crazy going on here, but it's a very fun playstyle that brings together Surge Slash and Strongarm, the two new Sunbreak stars, in this beautiful marriage of harmony, where one gets to do rapid hits that put the monster to sleep, and the other gets to do the single big hit that Great Sword is now, well, shining with, and it's just so utterly great. Especially as Surge Slash level 3 does have randomly hyper armor, so you can really tank through stuff applying that sleep. And as I said at the start, as it has bonus status application, a full Surge Slash Vortex Slash combo with status trigger triggered is a ridiculous amount of sleep. Monsters will really spend more time sleeping than awake, almost, while using this build, and more than anything, it's just so much fun. It's especially fun in multiplayer, as everyone is confused again why the monster is falling asleep every 30 seconds, and they have to stop and let you wake it up, so use it at your own discretion in that situation. Also, we want to add Palamutes to the mix, as of course they do very much help as the status machines that they are. I have made a video specifically about them and how ridiculous they are now, but the TLDR is you want one with these abilities selected, status attack up and range centric being by far and away the priority of the two. You want to give them the new Sunbreak minigun bowgun on their back and large shuriken, and then of course the disaster bell, the sleep attack weapon for the Palamutes. That then is kind of that, the process, the build, the reason to play it, and I hope you have seen what I have seen, which is something absolutely fantastic and very much worthy. Great Sword, more like greatest sword. Great Sword, status, Great Sword, status. Credit to Jono for that one, so yeah. Oh, and I suppose I should say one word of warning. Just because we're running sneak attack, well, doesn't mean that you always want to be hitting the tail. You do want to decide where you're going to be waking up the monster depending on which monster you're hunting. Seething Basil here is great because his tail actually takes more damage than his head. 70 plus hit zone compared to his head's around 60. So this is just a straight bonus. Whereas something like Malzeno, this is still a better tail wake up hit build for, because although his tail takes less damage than his head, it's only around 10, so the plus 20% from sneak attack makes it overall about 10% more damage than his head. So that's the kind of mentality you want to be going in with sneak attack, sleep, wake up, hit, spam. Great Sword, one of my favorite builds pretty much ever in Monster Hunter. I love this concept. In any case then, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit that bell for more. Consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. It is what keeps us going, and it does mean the world. For now then, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.